I am going to read chapter 2 of Access. Very informal to you today. I have no earrings on. I am bare with my holy oil, and we're going to get into what thus says the Lord. God put it on my heart to write this book. It's been about 2, 3 years now, like right after my mom kind of passed in that same year. So I started it, I finished it, and we were published, and here we go. Chapter 2. Keep going. Truth of the matter is, no matter what you see with the natural eye, God gave you complete access for every area of your life to fulfill any dream or reality you have. Faith is the substance of what is not seen. Once you have your reality written down on your paper and you have planned your goals, even when the unfortunate happens, you know you have complete access through faith in God's favor. Let us be honest, it is easier to say what we can do than to do it when we are in the exact moment of life. When you have to endure and practice what we preach, it looks like as long as you do it once, you do have the power to overcome those challenges. It always become what you it will always become what your thoughts lead it to be. In chapter 1, I strongly advised and gave examples on the words needed to speak life and the way to change your thoughts, to create and execute your hand picked reality. In most cases, as human beings, it is unbelievably hard to do that, which leads to destructions of dreams, aspirations, goals, and faith. I love the lyrics to a song I sung at the age of 6 in my after school program by Donnie McClurkin. Yes, you can. The lyrics are as follow. Yes, you can. You can do anything if you try. Just try. Yes, you can. But you have to believe it and rely on what you have inside. No matter what, if you can, just conceive it. If you believe it, then you can achieve it. For God gave the provision, made the decision. Yes, you can do all things through your faith. And that is part of the lyrics. The words of this song, 18 plus years later, still have major and power role in my life. Anytime I sense detours or that unfortunate events arise, I replay those words and I start to tell myself that I can do anything. The words you use to get over the hump will keep you going through to the next trial. And as long as you do it once, you do have the power to do it again and again. Hold on to that power God gives through him, which is called access. You are teachers You are the arcs of your words. You create your life by what comes out of your mouth. Remember the time you were excited and had everything aligned to go the way you planned in your head. Then boom, the unexpected came. A twist you were not ready for. What was the next move to have you doubting or having total control and faith over what is to come next? Remember the time when you had doubt that plan you had failed, when that unfortunate twist came about. Did you plan still work out or did it go exactly the way you doubted it to go? Can you recall can you recall the time when you had faith during the time an unfortunate twist came about and the plans you had? Did your plan still work out? And if it did not at that exact moment, later down the road, did it work out for your benefit or did you realize why it did not go as planned? I ask you these questions so you can now see and assess the way you go about handling unexpected twists that were not planned in your life while achieving and knocking out your goals and accomplishments. I am going to break down why this is important to always have faith when things come unexpectedly. When you always have faith, you give nothing else power to take your happiness or joy, no matter the circumstances. If you have faith as a mustard seed, it can move mountains. Faith can only give outcomes, hope, and prosperity, even when your circumstance tell you it's not going to work out. By you having faith, you know absolutely for sure it will work out in your favor. That gives you control and full access over how you handle the unexpected events that arise. Faith gives you the ability to most of all keep going forward. Seeing the best results for the outcome without the now. God gives us complete access to complete our destinies and dreams that he placed in us through him. According to his word, he gave us access to do all things, to know all things will work together for your good. It is in his plan for us through him. This brings deeper understanding on why faith and trust in God in all aspects of our life but more importantly, trusting when adversity comes our way. When the plans that we have taken unexpected twists or do not work out the way that we desire. God wants us to see our desires come to pass. But do you have the ability to be strong and endure the road until you get the reality you handpicked? I do not agree that it would be easy or microwave, but I do believe that having a continuous positive outlook will make the journey easier. Okay, when adversity comes and detours our plans, as humans we begin to display and experience a range of emotions: anger, bitterness, defeat, unworthiness, and shame, realizing God removed us from the real adversity and wants to promote us to our own vision of plans. Trust his ways, they are bigger and far greater than ours. Imagine if Netflix, after the plan of becoming partners with Blockbuster, gave up and doubted their vision because Blockbuster said no to merging. Now look on every television and ask yourself, where is Blockbuster today? Let me help you. They're completely alone. Most importantly, Netflix arose, wiping all Blockbusters out of business and still carried out their vision, becoming a record-charting billion-dollar company. If you ask yourself what would be more beneficial for business, to become partners, having profits, or owning all equity? The owner, Reed Heatings, was expecting a different outcome with Blockbuster, which if they did not keep going, enduring journey after their adversity, it would not have become the company that we know today, called Netflix, streaming shows and entertainment. Another successful owner, Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook, faced challenges in his plans when he invited five of his closest peers to his dorm room, expecting them to be on board with creating a social platform for the internet. That day, then 10 years ago, three of those walked out the dorm, going back to class, calling his ideas not possible, crazy. Two of his peers stayed and believed in the vision, now profiting millions as co-founders. If Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg focused on how his plans didn't go the way he envisioned in the beginning and didn't keep going with the ones who believed, Facebook would not be the billion-dollar company that it is today. Facebook keeps loved ones connected over the entire world. Mark Zuckerberg kept enduring his fight, no matter the circumstances of the way he planned for his vision to come to light. As long as you have faith in God and keep going, keep enduring, no matter what detour, unexpected twist, your dreams will become your reality. We all have done it wrong before. As things come about, unexpected twists arise in our plans, and we've created doubt by saying, it's not going to happen, I'm just going to give up. It must not be for me. That doubt defeats, allowing you unexpected twists become the focal point of now you making your next move, typically not allowing you to move forward, enduring one, accepting the adversity that will bring forth the best outcome for your reality. When you focus on the problem instead of the ultimate goal, the problem will expand because of what you focus on expands. One day I had planned to do a meeting in Statesville, NC for a fellow business partner to to help promote and grow her business. Earlier that day, I went to the ER and doubted that they would be able to assist me as much as I needed, and honestly, did not want to be waiting. I believe scheduling with my primary care doctor would be more beneficial with respect to time and accuracy. So while waiting in the ER, I was able to schedule a doctor visit for the same day. It happened to be 2 hours from the current time. The time arrived for me to walk into the doctor's office. I explained that I couldn't only see out of the corner of my eye. Everything else was pitch black, and it started small and grew to me not being able to see out of my peripheral vision. When I finished explaining to my doctor in a nick of time, I was able to schedule me an eye doctor appointment before the eye doctor closed for the next day. I was excited about how she got me out, fast enough to make it to Statesville. An hour and 30 minutes from Charlotte, I received a call from my doctor. She advised me to go to the ER. She believed my retina could possibly be detached, and if so, I could become blind if I went too much longer without having my eye looked at. I immediately went back and forth as I stressed over the fact that I had an important meeting to attend. Should I go after she had urgently advised me to go to the ER? How I got off the phone with her and contemplated on how I could not let my partner down. I made the decision 10 minutes later that I would have faith and show up as I said I would. Although I was very nervous about my eye, I got to Statesville and accomplished the goal for the day. It was very difficult driving at night. being that I could only see out of one eye. My right eye was hurting very badly, but it was worth pushing through and finishing what I started. When I arrived at the ER at Carolinas Medical Center University that night, it was around 10. I was sitting in the lobby and remember being there 10 hours before. I had doubted if it was worth my time and to be told to come back. You can only imagine how I felt. On the inside, I was overwhelmed. I felt like the day was wasted. After 3 hours of waiting, the doctor came in and explained the picture of my eye. He told me that it didn't look good and that my retina was detached and that I had a giant tear in my eye. He also told me that I would need immediate surgery and that there were no on-call surgeons present at that moment to perform the operation. I explained that my primary care physician had an appointment for me the following day. I received the news that I could possibly lose my eyesight forever, that the surgery would be difficult in my case. Time was not on my side. While shedding tears, I spoke life into my situation. I told myself that if this was the plan that God had for my eye, then it would come to pass. If not, I would fight the battles that came with the process. I did not expect to hear that type of news that night. I could have given up and made excuses or continued to inflict self-doubt. I could have told myself that my situation was going to eventually blindness. It was going to lead to eventual blindness. After I came out of surgery, this being my first surgical experience, I was glad to wake up. So many thoughts of fear not waking up could have stopped me from gaining my sight back. Not going into surgery because of doubt, worry, and fear. My faith would be blindness. But I kept moving in faith, declaring that the best will come from this experience. I declared that I would endure as long as I had to. If would have let fear or doubt discourage me, I honestly know my experience would have been completely different. I trusted God, and I know He gave me complete access to experience abundant life. My doctor told me that the surgery was very rare for someone of my age and ethnicity. For the moment I found out that my retina was detached until the moment after surgery, my spirit and thoughts remained focused on only the best outcome. I shut every voice and thought only. I shut every voice and thought that could have said a different outcome. I only held on to the victorious one. I declared before I woke up that I would see out of my right eye again. I thank God that His plan for me was bigger than my current circumstances. As you read, you see through some discouragement, but I pressed on in faith, spoke words of life, not sickness, and grabbed hold of my belief. I have the faith that I will overcome all of my fears. This was a tough battle for me. I only had two people that I was really close to, but I had God. The surgery was just the beginning. After surgery, my eye doctor told me I had to be on bed rest for a week. Until my next visit, Dr. Wyman at Horizon Eye Care instructed me to always lay on my right side, emphasizing always, to only get up 4 times per day to go to the bathroom, eat, and shower, and to take eye drops. I had to do everything lying on my right side. I absolutely never imagined me going through anything of such nature. And the only thing going through my head was my business, how close I was to my next promotion, not being able to be present for my team and myself. Allow me to heal and relax was the hardest thing for me to do, for me to want to do. So many emotions of hurt and disappointment. I wanted to reconcile, but the way my thought process and faith is, I could not allow myself to grow. I was holding on to negative thoughts of what I was experiencing, but I did remind myself of how to remain humble and thankful, no matter how my plans changed or detoured. I kept pushing and was very intimate with the process. I did not want to tell my mother until after because I didn't want to give her additional stress. She had her own issues. She was very impulsive, so irrational at times due to her anxiety. I did not want the pressure as days carried on. I did exactly as the doctor instructed. When the week was up, I started to begin to do normal activities again. I slowly began to drive. My eyes were feeling better, even though I still had blurry vision because of the certain oil filters to keep my retina from detaching. I continued to stay positive about what I knew was coming. I had to plan this outcome before my surgery. On my second week of recovery, no longer on bed rest, I turned my focus to my son. I was picking him up from practice when I received a phone call from a detective asking me how I talked to my mother. I told him no, I had texted her 2 days prior, but she never responded. That went into detail on how they found her car in a public parking lot almost 2 weeks before. I immediately drove to her house to check on her. No one came to the door. There was a late rent notice. I raised my eyebrows confused. Called my brother and family expressing my concern. My brother had a key to her house, so he rushed her to her house for more answers. When he got there, he called me on FaceTime. We looked through it together. Stuff was kind of out of place, and the food in the fridge was molded. He grabbed one of her cell phones that he had found and left. I explained to him that the way everything looked in the house was if she rushed out. Later that night, I got a call from the detective back to gain more clarity since wasn't answering anyone's calls. He also had me feeling some kind of way about the manner in which he had questioned me regarding to my mother. His discreet manner made me feel like I was a suspect of some sort. I watch a lot of CSI and NCIS and Law and Order, and I felt like I could identify the approach from a detective a little clearer. I needed more clarity. The subtle of the detective's questions, along with mother's apparent disappearance, was not adding up for me. I began to ask questions. What happened to my mama? Is my mom dead? The detective from Mint Hill Police Department informed me that someone had called in about finding a body in the woods earlier that day. They did a fingerprint scan and your mother's name came up. She has some special distinctions, but before jumping to conclusions, we want to make sure that it was her. He tried to reassure me. When I confirmed some piercings and body construction, it was true. My mother was no longer alive. She had been in the woods for almost 2 weeks. Her body was not viewable and just perishing. At that moment, there was so much confusion, so many questions, but most of all, disbelief in the way plans I had for us would no longer be possible. The entire time of the last couple of days of my bed rest, my mom's body was in the woods, all alone. During that moment, I was numb, but thankful for whatever the plans God had in store for my life. My dad got shot and killed in 2014 when I was 6 months pregnant with my son Michael. Now, 5 years later, my mom was no longer here, unsolved and unknown. My thoughts could have caused me to shut down, to give up on everything, but it fueled to the fire. I have to keep pushing my child, my younger brother, my family, me, and anyone else that has lost a parent. We all need to know how to keep looking forward and up. You can keep going no matter the unexpected, no matter what life throws your way. When you think trials are here to stop you, put your head down and stay focused on the go. Believe the best is yet to come. Believe that you can achieve your goals no matter the adversity. Believe in yourself and trust the process. Strive, push, and please always keep going until you fulfill your destiny. The handpicked life you want for you, it's going to always be roadblocks and humps in your road. It is destined for that. But God gave us complete access through His Word, even through discouragement, trust, and have faith. Speak life into every area so you can have joy. As adversities and twists come along, I will continue to press on and keep going until God calls me home. I do believe my destiny will come to pass. The lessons and strength come from the unexpected. Just breathe and live for the moments to come. That is chapter 2 of the book called Access. And that concludes chapter 2 reading today. And I will tune back in and do chapter 3 reading as the Lord has said. I will be reading all 12 chapters of this book called Access on this platform because that's what the Lord has spoken. So I hope you guys have a blessed day and you guys enjoyed the book.